Okay, so now we're going to look at model building, and we're going to use the stepwise regression. That's one of the options for linear model, and then we were going to use the Caret library and develop, and we'll use a library that uses Caret for the purpose of model building, that's Leaps. So that's what we're going to be looking at. So first, um, the simple approach. Okay, so we have to first run a regular regression model first. Okay, so this is the same as before. So we have price against everything else and data equal to um, train.df, right? So we run the regular regression, which already did before. Just to be sure, let's do it again. And then we have car.lm.step. Okay, so we're going to save the stepwise results in this list, and we use the function called step, and the first parameter is the regression model, which is right there. So we say car.lm, and then you give the direction, because the direction equal to, you can have backward, forward, or both. Okay, both is your stepwise. Forward would be you start with nothing and then you keep building. Backward would be you start with everything in and then prune back. So we'll just use both. So that will be our stepwise, and then we will do a summary of the results. car.lm.step. Okay, so let's go ahead and run these 3 lines of code, and we have the answer right here. Okay, so we're going to look at the variables that are in the stepwise model and then the regular model. Okay, so for that we need to take the summary, and inside the summary we have what is called terms, and terms is the list of lists, so you have to give 2 square brackets. Okay, and then you run, and then that gives us all the variables that are there in this model. Okay, so if we do the same thing for the full model, okay, so here is the full full model. Okay, so full model will be just car.lm, right? So run that, so you get the full model. Okay, and then let me put that here. So now we have, okay, let's run these 2 lines of code again. So here is the full model, and here is the stepwise model. As you see, so it does not have automatic and CC. Okay, so this is what variables are there in the model. And to generate the accuracy measures, we have to first set up the predicted values. So we got we'll call it pred.step. How about that? Okay, so pred.step.tr for training. So that would be, you go to car.lm.step, and you have the fitted values. And then pred.step.vl, you have to predict now. So predict car.lm.step, so that's the model. Okay, model results are in that, and then we have to supply the new data, so that will be valid.df. So we have to run these two lines of code first and make sure that we have the data, so we have predicted values right here, right? And now I'm going to just copy paste these lines of code and make the necessary changes, right? So now that we have the predicted values, so we have to change this to pred.step.tr. Okay, and then so that's the predicted value and then the actual value, and pred.step.vl, and that would be the predicted value and that's the actual value, and we'll call this ACC2. All right, the second one. So let's say train.lm.step. Okay, this is the regular linear model LM as opposed to caret. Okay, so step and then ACC2. So let's run these 4 lines. We already have the predicted values, and the names did not work, and that's because I didn't change the name here, which means the names for ACC1 got messed up in the process. So I have to go back up and run these names again. So those names are put back where it should be, and then now we run these two, and then we have the accuracy for linear model stepwise.